Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is our Rice News analyst, Emmanuel Efeni. Good morning, Emmanuel.
Good morning, Ruben. Good morning, Rufai.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, Tundu. Yes, let's start with these day newspapers, as usual. The lead story, APC in crisis. Obaseki resigns. Oshiomole suspended. Ajimobi hospitalized. National Working Committee divided. 14 back suspended chairman, 3 opposed, 3 neutral. Gyandom claims chairmanship. Governor set to move in. 18 Edo local government chairmen reaffirm support for governor's re-election bid. Now, let's look at how other newspapers are reporting this story, which is the main story of the day. The New Telegraph. Appeal court to Oshiomole. Stop parading yourself as APC chairman. Justices dismiss appeal, uphold ex-Edo governor's suspension. Obaseki deputy quit ruling party, IPDP Guba ticket. Then, of course, the Daily Independent. APC crisis deepens as appeal court affirms Oshiomole's suspension. The Nigerian Tribune. APC appeal court affirms Oshiomole's suspension. Obaseki deputy dump party. Court also withdraws Oshiomole's rights, privileges, including his security details. Now, the Punch newspaper. APC's worsening crisis, appeal court opposed suspension. Oshiomole's suspension. Obaseki heads for PDP. Edo governor visits Villa, says predecessor not qualified to question certificates. Now, if we look at this story, Ruben, the APC seems to have gotten itself entangled. I just want to leave who is going to act as chairman. Let's leave that. You touched that earlier. The legal entanglement. Recall that Oshiomole was suspended from home, Ward 10 of his Esako local government. Home trouble, if you want to call it that. And that suspension was affirmed by the Esako local government level of APC and the state level of the APC. And of course, some members of the party approached the court that Oshiomole that is an Abuja High Court, that Oshiomole cannot continue as the chairman, and they got a judgment in their favor. Oshiomole now went to Kano, where he got or obtained, anyone you want to use, a judgment countering that of the Abuja High Court, Court of Concurrent Jurisdiction. I'm sure if we have left it at that, perhaps he will still be chairman, but he went ahead to appeal against the decision of the Abuja High Court. And yesterday, unanimous judgment affirmed the decision of the Abuja High Court. Now, since that judgment in March 2020, all the actions he has been carrying out as chairman, are they null and void? Tudu, perhaps you want to shed some light on that. And Ruben, I know you have something to say, Rufai, also.
Well, let's start with Tundu.
Well, if the appeal court has held that they're upholding his suspension, all his actions are null and void, which is why I was saying if this judgment had come in, or this order had come in a few days ago, Governor Obaseki and his deputy, Philip Schreiber, would have had no need to resign from the APC.
Ogienwanyi can profit from that. Ogienwanyi was also disqualified, so he can profit from that.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. The front runners there's really one, and that's the incumbent governor. But my issue is, this is so completely messy. APC, as this day says, is in crisis. And we were discussing in the break if President Buhari would intervene as he did back in March. You'll recall that Chief Victor Gyadom, in his capacity then as acting national chairman, tried to convene a meeting of the NWC, which was now postponed indefinitely when President Buhari intervened. I wonder if there's going to be any last-minute intervention at this point.
You mean the NEC meeting?
Yes, the NEC, not NWC.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that Oshiomole, at the center of this, may have reached a point now when he needs to take a look at what is going on and take a personal decision. The chairmanship of a political party is not a lifetime position, or how do they say it? It's not a royal stool. And with all the confusion around the party and around his own personality and how many stakeholders in the party are reacting, I think he will have to reach a point where, beyond litigation, what the court says or whatever, where he will just decide maybe it's perhaps time to step down. He will still remain in the party. He will still continue to provide the leadership. But to find himself in this kind of situation, I do not think that it's good for his brand or for his image or for his own politics.
Well,
the party should be more important than individuals.
What's the likelihood of that, Rufai?
What's the likelihood of that? it's in fact,
Rufai, is it true that Adam has now become the problem of APC?
Yes.
As Ruben is trying to put it.
Yes, sadly enough, it's not that he has just become the problem. He was always the problem. He was always the constrictor snake that has constricted himself. He has always been the problem.
Well,
and like Dr. Ruben did say, this is the time for introspection. This is the time to even remember where he's coming from. Like I was saying off there, he has done well from himself. From being a labor leader to being the chairman of a political party with a lot of controversies, this is the time to take a bow. Because he can't do it any
will
further.
he? Because that opportunity has been ripe since March, and he didn't, bow out gracefully. He insisted on continuing and fighting on, and he did offer olive branches. He did concede that his critics have a point and that he's going to change the way he chairs the party. That did not happen. He continued in that same vein. So I don't know if now he's going to have some kind of crisis of conscience.
I mean, if he was supposed to take the opportunity in March, let's say that was his Ides of March, I want to say, please, Dr. Abati, poetically, can I say this is Oshiomole's Ides of June?
The Ides of June.
The party is not a one-man party. I'm sure that there are leaders within that party who would have to step in at some point and then try to reorganize that party, except, of course, they do not mind whether the party implodes or not. And Efeni, before you came, I cited the example of what happened in the PDP. And that's how it starts. Before you know it, the party itself will implode. And who will bear the consequences? The party itself.
Ruben, they are all looking ahead to 2023. Let's move on. The Daily Independent. Let's quickly look at the Daily Independent again. COVID-19. Federal government give 6 conditions for reopening of schools. JAMB settles for 160 cutoff marks for varsity. But I think what I actually want is the Nigerian Tribune. Lagos suspends reopening of churches, mosque. Yes. Next Friday and Sunday, the worship centers were supposed to reopen, but I think Lagos State did a rethink, and that will not be because of these spiraling numbers of infections in the Lagos area. But the Christian leaders and the Muslim leaders, they are happy about this because perhaps the churches and the mosques would have been dragged into the cause of the spike in number in Lagos. But good thing, Lagos has done everything. So Lagos state government need to do a soul-searching exercise to know where they are going wrong. You open the markets 3 times in a week. People rush into the market, jam one another. People are not wearing a mask in the buses. When they get to a checkpoint, they say, okay, bring your mask, bring your mask. They put it on. Some share masks. And these are the problems. So the churches and the mosques, they have been left out of the problem. They are not congregating on Sunday. No Jumat service on Friday.
Thank you, Mr. Efeni. And so we're sure we're going to hear from the chairman, Adams Oshiomole, and he's going to appeal this decision. And he does have a leg to stand on, as I said earlier in the news update, because the APC constitution makes it quite clear that he cannot be removed by a court order.
All right, that's about all on the headline news.